Uncertainty. The one thing that keeps us awake all night and causes us anxiety and fear of what tomorrow may hold. And as immigrants, we face this all the time. From being scared of what being in a new country would be like, to going to that country and wondering if we would ever have the dream life that we so desire. In this video, I will be explaining to you how you can deal with uncertainties as an immigrant. This worked for me and it can certainly work for you as well. Story time, but today it's about Zach and Zara. So Zach and Zara moved to the UK for their masters in 2019, and 1 year later they were done with their masters and were considering what the next steps were for them. They weren't able to secure a job that was willing to sponsor them while they were studying, and so decided to go down the route of post-study work visa. Now, they had it in mind that even if they go down the route of post-study work visa, they would try to get a job that they want for themselves, and once they do that, after their probation they would request for sponsorship, because that is what most people had done. Their probation lasted for 6 months, and after their probation they both individually had a meeting with their line managers to mention that they actually wanted sponsorship. So Zach and Zara works in different companies, okay? So now their managers agreed to sponsor them, but there was a caveat. They would only be sponsored 3 months till the end of their visa expiry date. Now, Zara felt relaxed, but Zach felt like anything could go wrong. So because Zach felt like anything could go wrong, Zach kept on applying for jobs and even explored opportunities in other countries. 3 months to their visa expiry date, their managers got back to them and told them that they would not be sponsoring them anymore due to budgeting and finance issues and whatever. Now, this was very, very disheartening, as Zara didn't have any backup plan, as she totally relied on her employer to sponsor her. So because Zara didn't have any other alternative, she was very devastated and didn't know where to turn to. She went down the new route that the government had created. It was a step down for her because the salary was incomparable and the job was not just something that she wanted. Zach, on the other hand, was not able to secure a job in the UK, although he had been applying. However, he explored the potential of getting a new permanent residence in a different country and got it, and on top of that, got a job in that new country, and so he wasn't faced by all of this. Now, as usual, I would ask, what is the difference between Zach and Zara? It's pretty obvious. They were both presented with uncertainties. Zach was more proactive about these uncertainties, but Zara didn't do anything about it. Which brings me to my first point of how to deal with uncertainties. Number one, always have a backup plan. Whenever I shoot a video and I say something or I give points, I say it because that is what has worked for me. Everyone in my life knows that I have a backup plan for everything, and for that backup plan I have another backup plan to back up my backup plan, if that makes sense. Initially, I remember like when I came newly, that was the one thing that I couldn't understand. Like there were so many unknowns, there were so many things that I had no clue how to deal with. But then I was like, I need to protect myself in this world of uncertainty. I actually need to protect myself and have a backup plan. That is what I'm trying to say. In this case, Canada was Zach's backup plan, but Zara had no backup plan and was thrown into the wild and was made to just accept whatever she could accept so that she doesn't get to go home, because that's not what she wanted for herself. Unfortunately, being in a new country can actually come with its own uncertainties, because your own stay in the country might be tied to something else. So you probably need to get sponsorship in some countries, and it's not guaranteed that you'll actually get that sponsorship, right? Like, it's not guaranteed. So you really need to have a backup plan. What are you doing? You've tried to get this job, it's not working. What are you doing next? Like, you need to think about your own situation, because everyone's situation is very unique. You need to be able to think about your own situation and plan accordingly. What is that thing that you wanted to do that you were not able to do? Use that as a backup plan. You might want to explore other countries or something else. Think of it. You might want to explore multiple career paths, not just one. In case if one doesn't work, the other one is going to work. For example, you have a dress for an event, but you've ordered this dress, but you don't know how it will fit. Because you don't know how it will fit, and if you would actually like it in real life, you get like 2 or 3 more dresses, just in case that one doesn't fit or you don't really like it as much. You have other ones that you can select from. That is what I'm saying in this case. Have a backup plan, and let your backup plan have a backup plan to back that backup plan up. You need to protect yourself. Like, you need to constantly remain prepared. And the only way to protect yourself is by having a backup plan. Okay? Now, dealing with uncertainty means that you don't know what tomorrow holds. This means that even if you have a backup plan today, things might change tomorrow that might affect your backup plan. That brings me to my second point. You need to be able to constantly revisit your plans and make adjustments where needed. Make adjustments as new information comes out. This world itself is not a one-way street. Anything can happen. Life is uncertain. Everything is uncertain. Like, we never know what tomorrow holds for us. We never know what tomorrow brings or what tomorrow has in store for us. So it means that life in itself, or the world in itself, is very flexible. So it means that you should be willing to be flexible and adapt to change. Okay? If you've made a plan and that plan is not going the way it's meant to go because of the current situation or new information or anything like that, be willing to adapt to the new information and change your plan or adjust your plan or modify your plan to suit you in the best way possible or suit that condition best. Sometimes your backup plan might not even work, so be open to exploring even more options. Like, if your backup plan doesn't work, then you can explore other things. Like, it is not a one-way street. You're just having a backup plan to protect yourself, right? But if that doesn't work and something else can work, then you might as well use that. Like, explore that. As long as whatever you are deciding fits into what you want, fits into you as a person, what you stand for, what works best for you, your career path. As long as it fits you very well, then I would say explore. Okay, have a backup plan, but be very willing to revisit your plans where necessary and make adjustments depending on what new information has come up. Okay, another way to deal with uncertainty is remaining calm in the face of uncertainty. Now, the thought of not even knowing what the future holds for you is enough to drive you insane, right? But you need to remain calm. Don't let the fear of the unknown make you make rash decisions that you're not supposed to make in the first place. Like, don't take decisions that would cause lasting effects for you just because you were not calm. Take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out, be calm. Being scared is normal. Like, fear is normal. We're all scared. I am scared. I am very scared. But don't let your fear consume you or push you or be a deciding factor for you. Your fear shouldn't lead you to do things that you're not supposed to do or something you don't even want to do in the first place, right? Because sometimes it happens that some people are not willing to actually remain patient, and then they make decisions, and those decisions have lasting effects, and most times those lasting effects are not good. It's not good to act under pressure. It's not good to act when your mind is clouded by fear, anxiety, uncertainties. Like, it's not good to act on that. You need to learn to remain calm, even when things doesn't seem to be going your way, or even when you can't seem to fathom what the future holds. Remain calm. Breathe in. Okay, let's move on. You need to learn to cope with uncertainty. That is another point. Being an immigrant means that there are a lot of things that are actually very uncertain. Especially if you're in countries that nothing is clear. Like, especially when your stay is actually tied to something. Like, if your stay is not tied to anything, maybe it's a bit easier. But if your stay is tied to something, it's never clear. I don't know how to explain. Like, it's always going to be there. You need to learn to live with it. You can't let it rule your life 24/7. It's okay not to know sometimes. In fact, most times we don't know. People that are looking big right now and have taken steps, it's just because they decided to walk in faith. They probably did not know that whatever they were going to do was going to work. It means that they were also uncertain. There are a lot of things actually like so uncertain, but you need to learn to live with it and cope with uncertainties. Sometimes, even after doing all your research, even after taking all the right steps, even after having a backup plan and doing everything right, sometimes things will still not go your way or the way you actually imagined. And it's fine. It's okay. You move on, okay? Don't beat yourself up about it so much. There's only so much that you can do. There are lots of things that are out of our control. There are lots of things that we cannot control. A lot of things that we don't even know how it's going to play out. And it's fine. Just learn to cope with it. Like, even after having a backup plan, if that works, perfect. If that doesn't work, what is the next plan? Do you get it? Like, be willing to like pick up regardless of the situation of things. So now that we understand that there are so many things in life that are out of our control, the sooner we're able to adjust and change our plans accordingly or just adapt to it. So we need to actually learn to adapt to uncertainties and cope with it. It's not the easiest thing to do, but you need to get to that point. That way, even if things don't go your way, you are not so discouraged or downcast. You're still perfectly fine. Okay? Just to run through everything that I have said, I want us to have a readiness checklist. This is a checklist for uncertainty. So the readiness checklist has 4 things in that checklist. First, do your research to make informed decision. Secondly, take effective action without overdoing it. Thirdly, stay calm, knowing that you did all that you could do. And lastly, adjust your plans as new information comes out. So this checklist can help you to be ready in any situation. You are making plans, you're doing your research, trying to help yourself, but you're also willing to make changes depending on what happens if things don't go the way that you want it to go. In conclusion, just want to say that uncertainty as immigrants is very normal. I just need to point that out. It's normal. We don't know what tomorrow holds. We don't even know what our future looks like. I mean, you might have big dreams before coming, but then when you eventually come, everything seems so blurry. Everything seems very blurred out. And in that case, you might be feeling very, very devastated, upset, angry that things are not going your way. You can even feel so low of yourself. You might feel rejected. You might feel like you're not good enough. A lot of things can happen from things that are really unknown that we're not aware of, right? My point is that in all of this, you need to remain calm and clear-headed. See, if you're not clear-headed, it's going to make it difficult for you to make reasonable decisions, right? You need to be clear-headed. Don't act in a rush. Don't act on impulse. Just remain calm. Okay? Remain calm. Things are uncertain, fine. That's okay. That's fine. We move. That's okay. Okay? Guys, we've come to the end of this video, and if this is the type of content that you like, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, share, and comment. And I will see you in my next video. Remain calm. Take a deep breath. All will be well. Okay?